Hey y'all, it's a podcast called Fresh.
It's M.A.P.
He gets it more than the rest of you. He's better at this than you.
Your boy, Miles Amadeus Prower here for a podcast called Fresh. Back again. What's good, y'all? What's going on? Back here, solo dolo. Not sure how we gonna do this. I'm probably gonna be dropping this after Kale's solo dolo. I don't know. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? But hope y'all having a good day. Hope everything is all right with y'all. I'm straight. Still, I'm good enough to continue the facade of sanity. So there's that. Of course, you know, I'm not gonna say a new daddy because I've got 4 daughters, but I'm still happy about my son Jabari and AKA Deku. And I'm probably gonna end up doing an My Hero Academia episode, like a super deep dive into it and how, like, you know, Kel was telling me, because it's like I can do deep dives in like relations to like comics and my life, or like anime and my life. And it's stupid, but I can, like, it's how I motivate myself and how I fight depression. A lot of stuff like that, you know. And Kels was telling me, you know, my man, Anthony Wagner. What up, man? Leader of the Hyphen Podcast Militia. You know, he's telling me I should do it. So that's probably coming up. I got something else I'm trying to work on. Colored commentary. I don't know if that's a working name. It may not be permanent. But it's something I'm working on. I just thought about, you know, my premise is to go over movie fights, or movie scenes, or anime fights, and stuff like that, or cartoon fights, and shit like that. And just, you know, commentate it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I know in my life, the best times when you watch the shit is when you got people talking shit for it and interpreting and telling you shit. So we got that in the works. Working on that, trying to see if I can get Raul to stop mixing or editing some of the Hyphen Nation podcast episodes. Try to help me with some shit. But, you know, I ain't got the money like, you know, Kel. So it is what it is. Supposed to have a new, for those who know me from my other podcast, my original podcast I started doing, which I am on hiatus from, I Black Man Podcast, Offensively Black. It should be, I don't know, the next one or the next hyphen. It's going to be, I don't know, I'm trying to get it because I miss doing it and I want to get back into doing it. So I'll be doing some of that, and it'll be like more like, you ever seen Daily Show? So it's going to be like I'm the Lewis Black to his, oh my God, I can't remember. Well, you know, I'm escaping my mind right now. I'm mad as Jon Stewart. There we go. See, I was thinking about it, but I was debating Jon Stewart. So I'm going to just put some shit, send him some shit, some short clips. And as vain as I am, if it gets if I get emails and hits back or whatever, then I will try to get going to putting some more episodes out. I miss it, but I don't, you know, this is what I do. It's easier. It's more fun. Well, not more fun. No. It's more productive, I would guess. You know, I don't know what it is. Anyway, with all this rambling on I've been doing, I want to stop and say, you know, thank you to everybody who's listening, who supports, and, you know, give us love and you listen and all that, because this is what I'm doing it for. I do it for y'all. I'm hoping to help people out, you know, read some comics, give you some honest feedback and reviews. I'm not trying to sugarcoat shit. I'm going to give it to you like your homie down the street. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we got a review right here from a Mr. Marcus Collier, or Collier, like Terry Collier, you know, singer. I like him. It was the singer, you know. Anyway, Marcus said, insightful, fun, and all around good entertainment. A basic review for an exceptional podcast. Hey, we thank you, Marcus. Mark, gonna call you that? Thanks. We was just one thing I'm finding out, just kicking it and talking it to people on Twitter, on some groups and Facebook and stuff. I don't know if it's translating into plays. I can't tell, but I feel like I'm making some positive feedback. It's kind of cool. I had a post earlier where I was just saying that Yondu's death in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 meant more to me than Stark dying in Endgame. And some people agree, other people didn't agree. Really good, really interesting conversations that just developed off that. I was just, wow, you know, I'm just posting shit just to post, you know what I'm saying? to keep my name out here, and get to play. Y'all know the game, how that shit work. And I post some shit I post to get 12 views. Other shit I post, I come back, what the fuck? 12,000 interactions. Like, what the fuck? Or maybe 1,000 interactions, you know what I'm saying? So, this was one of those posts. So, it was a lot of people who felt where I was coming from, other people who may not have agreed. And I just told them, Yondu dying, it hurts you. I mean, you kind of saw it coming, but not really. Stark dying, he didn't have to die. They could have brought his ass back with the time gem. Or he could have just gave it back to the Hulk, and the Hulk could have did that shit. There's a lot of ways around that shit. Captain Marvel. And then with that, my whole thing was, and I've said this shit before, check it out. The Avengers with a review. Side note, I was kind of nervous. It was one of my first episodes doing this by myself, so I low-key said nigga a lot, which is kind of stupid, which I didn't know, but till after I recorded, and I'm like, fuck it. But apparently that's something I do when I'm nervous. But anyway, I riffed on that and I went into it. And my thing was, I told everybody when he didn't die in Infinity War, I just fucked it up for me. Because he would have died fighting Thanos out there on the planet, fucking alone. I'd have respected that shit. But when that nigga didn't die and they brought him back, I'm like, I didn't give a fuck anymore. But anyway, there's that. Of course, like and subscribe to the podcast on your platform of choosing. Also, go to the YouTube podcast called Fresh. The episodes for the podcast, and of course, other stuff I'm trying to work on come out on there. You can check them out there if you don't feel like, listening to a podcast. Of course, you can go to a podcast called Fresh on the Book of Face. I believe, let me double check shit. I got my phone right here. Damn shame I don't know what my fucking tags is. Of course, it's a podcast called Fresh on Instagram and on the Twitter. Because I know, I'm still trying to learn this Twitter shit. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me, y'all. Kind of lame out here. You know what I'm saying? On Twitter, what am I? Shit. I'm at Amadeus Miles. On Twitter, I am at Amadeus Miles. You can email me at a podcast called fresh@gmail.com if it's concerning this. Or if you got some iBlackman stuff or whatever, if you just don't feel like typing a podcast called Fresh, you can send it to EYEBlackmanPodcast@gmail.com. Or you can go on anywhere and find a Kellen or Hyphen podcast group and annoy them and demand to speak with me. But yeah, so let's see. What are we getting into? I'm trying to keep this going. I feel like we're making a little bit of time, a little bit of leeway. So just trying to get this shit going. So I guess let's just get into it. You know what I'm saying? First thing, I'm about to review today. It's a comic called Trill League. It's a comic I've been keeping my eyes on for a minute because at the time when I heard of this, I was working on my idea for a comic and trying to get that shit off the ground. Me, my homie Doc, y'all know her. Me and her did the episode. We did Carol and Tuesday and Isola. Pretty good episode. Quiet as kept. It's the highest played episode we got. I think it's because of diversity, But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so it was just, I was trying to come up with a cartoon or a comic book that was just kind of like the black version of Scott Pilgrim and just so much more than that. And then while we doing this and we working, I kept seeing this Trill League shit and it was pissing me the fuck off because this shit was kind of like the shit idea I had. Anyway, long story short, it was supposed to be like a Netflix show. Not a Netflix, Cartoon Network series at some point, but that fell through. So the comic book ended up coming out, but from what I understand, it's only one issue or one trade paperback. I went online, went to TrillLeague.com, and I bought my digital download for about, I think it was $10. So I had to support him because, as a black man, I always try to support. Definitely got to support the brothers. And let me just say a little bit about the artist, man. He's an illustrator named Anthony Piper. Nigga got a porn star name. I'm just playing, man. Don't get mad at me, though. He from Chicago, Midwest, what up? And they say he did this, and I'm not sure what else is going on, but I definitely want to give his props. And from what I understand is now he's working with Marvel. They said he's done some stuff with, they say, hold on, let me look at this, y'all, see what he wrote. Oh, shit, not Siri trying to talk. Ain't nobody trying to talk to you, Siri. Hold on, y'all. Let me look at this shit. But anyway, yeah, he done worked for Marvel. He done did some Guardians of the Galaxy, Invincible Iron Man, and a one-shot story about Domino and Uncanny X-Men. So kudos to him, tipping my hat to this young man. Now, with this review that I'm doing for this, I'm trying to be as fair as possible. It was only really one issue, so that's all I really have to judge it off of. Regardless of whatever, it's dope as fuck. It's just the thing that got me. It didn't really go far enough. But we gonna get into it. First things first, off top, I'm loving the anime manga fan service. They got my man Trill Robin and his boy walking up to some cats in some neighborhood and they saying like, you ain't supposed to be here. Straight off top, they're supposed to be Naruto and like Sasuke and like Rock Lee and Shino or whatever. And just they popping shit back and forth. And the writing in here is pretty good. I like it. It's good. It's really good, I think. Well, yeah, it's good. It's hard for me to give compliments, y'all. So, you know, that was a little dope part. And they had my man supposed to be Rock Lee come out. And, you know, I like how Trill Robin, he popping slick shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it ended up them chasing him out the neighborhood or whatever, which I thought was kind of funny, interesting way to start it. Also, 10 points for dissing Dragon Ball GT. They got on since they made some points about that. I thought it was dope, and it was like letting you know, nigga, this is for blurs, by blurs. You know what I'm saying? They got like, they got their own little Justice League. They got like Black Mane, who's like Batman. They got Wandisha, who's like the ghetto Wonder Woman. She's like, you know, and they got all like, I guess, hood variants of, they got a nigga who look like Prince and all kinds of shit like that. So they got their version of Green Lantern, which I think is dope. This nigga's right, he's like a pimp. He drives around in a ring-constructed Cadillac. And this shit is just, I want to see it animated. Just the whole thing and just the absurdity of it. I don't mean absurdity in a bad way. I just mean like, it's just, I feel like it would be so much more funnier if they could do it in a, you know, in a animated format. But I guess they tried to get on Cartoon Network and I guess that was the intended, but you know, it didn't happen. It's funny how they got my man, I guess, Trill Robin, whose name on here is Sparrow. His parents died during a pop-locking routine at a circus. And then it's like, I'm just trying to think. There's not really a lot of story on here. And I just, you know, I think, you know, but I can't knock them because it's just one issue. But I wish it was a little bit more depth to it. But apparently, I guess this dude, Swole Man, who's like their version of Superman, is fucking Wandisha. And he's cheating. He's basically, as the girls would call, a fuck boy. And or whatever, however y'all want to go into it. But yeah, and so he's cheating on her and it's becoming a problem and it's fucking up the league and all this shit. So it's interesting. They got little small. One thing I thought was really funny about this, they have a reality show that Wandisha and her friend watch called, what is it called? The Super Wives. And then like they had like Jean Grey, fucked up Sue Richards. And it was really cool. I think this shit has a lot of potential. I wish it was more than what just the little bit that I've read. But I like it. The art, it's dope just off of the art. The art is good. It's quality shit. It's almost in the mind of like Boondocks, but it ain't outsourced drawn and shit like that. Side note, big in the Boondocks, rest in peace, Pops. John Witherspoon, one of Detroit's finest. It's no longer with us. And yeah, so sorry for that, and I want to make sure I pay my respects. But like I was saying, it's only one issue, so it's not too much I can go on. But I will say I don't regret spending my money to buy this. And if you want to get a chance, if you get a chance, check it out. It's pretty good. I want to probably one day, can't say one day, I don't know. I just had a baby, so I can't tell you when I'm buying shit, but I would invest in the trade paperback. Or the hardcover rather, just for the art. It's a good collection. You know, it's a good piece to your collection to add to it. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, I'm going to take a break and we're going to get right back to you, all right? Blurred up.
My daddy's podcast is called Hyphenation. It's the world's greatest podcast. Barack Obama approved. On Hyphenation, my daddy talks about all kinds of cool things. And sometimes I'm on the podcast too. Sometimes he has his friend Marcus on. Sometimes he stays up really late and he's tired the next day. But it's worth it. But he loves this podcast and I love his podcast. So I really want you to listen to Hyphenation so daddy doesn't get sad. He really doesn't get sad though because he has me. Alright, please listen to Hyphenation. Thanks, y'all. I love the podcast, so please try to join. But if you know him.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can we hear it now?
Finally, a podcast called Fresh has returned. Thank God.
Inside, outside, come around. Who's that, Miles? Yo, what up? It's a podcast called Fresh. We back. Hey, we back. Okay, we back. Say what? We back. Hey, bitch, we back. We back. And we. All right. That's enough, man. Y'all motherfuckers ain't trying to see me. Getting y'all hype. It would be funny, motherfuckers, and they call like, hey. Anyway, we back. It's your boy Maps. And they're like, swimwear. That's jive as fuck. Why did I just say that? I don't know. I'm feeling myself. And I'm buzzed. There, I said it. Anyway, next review we doing is of a comic book called Excellence. Really, I had to do an episode, issues 1 through 3. Now, Excellence is written by Brandon Thomas, the creator and artist. The creator and writer is Brandon Thomas. The creator and artist is Carrie Randolph. The colorist is Emilio Lopez. The letterer is Duran Pennant. The editor is Sean McAcue. I'm sorry, this font I'm reading on here, I'm sorry. And the associate editor is Ariel Beishi. I like this. Premise of this is basically, it's a wizard book, a black wizard book, or a black, warlock, or however you want to say the correct term, or whatever they identify as. And I was seeing little groups I'm in on Facebook and things like that. I've been hearing little murmurings and people posting like, oh, so-and-so, new comics day, or so-and-so pool day. Yeah. So I've been seeing Excellence popping up, and I'm like, okay. And again, since now we are free from the whole House of X, Powers of X. And unfortunately, if there's anybody who's like, oh, we want to come here, we love this podcast for X-Men, we won't. We're going to try to go out of our way to not do X-Men for a while. The whole thing left a bad taste in the mouth. And we just don't want to be sitting here like OGs just complaining about how shit's not how it used to be. So we're going to be getting into some passion projects, some stuff that we like, maybe old shit, recommendations, stuff like that. But anyway, so I've been seeing a lot of Excellence popping up. And so I'm like, all right, let me see, check this out, And I'm looking into it, and it's cool, And so now we are reviewing Excellence. So I guess let's get to it. All right, first of all, one of the first pages, they got the 4 walls. Wall 1, the protection and defense of the undeserving is not allowed. 2, the creation of a magician's wand without permission is not allowed. 3, the casting of spells without an approved wand is not allowed. And 4, the use of magic by females is not allowed. Find that interesting? Call it sexist? I don't know. I guess you could say they're not woke. But interesting, these are the 4 walls, I guess, are the 4 rules that govern these people, or this comic rather, or the government that governs the people who live in said comic. All right, well, off top, first and foremost, I think it's dope as hell. It's a black wizard book. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not even saying it's like black Harry Potter, but it's black wizards. I'm happy. It could be black, whatever. I'm happy. We here. So I'm hype about that. They get fucking give 30 points to Excellence. Fuck Gryffindor for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I hate to say, I know I'm being picky with this, but I just hate the whole magic wand thing. And that's the thing that's really kept me away from wizardry and all that stuff. Cause it's just like, dude, I'm like, you get later, you can't shoot magic out your fucking hands. That just always seemed like a whack thing to do. To me, like, you can't evolve past using that shit. I mean, that's like in Naruto. Well, no, I can't say that because they were supposed to use seals. And at some point, y'all remember that in Naruto? They just stopped using hand seals. Like, remember Itachi used to be stacking them bitches, and at some point, they just stopped doing that shit. But anyway, stories about a young wizard. I'm not going to say magician because that sounds like the niggas do fucking magic like that. But yeah, so his name is like Spencer. I think his last name is Dales. Yeah, I believe Dales. And I guess he's part of one of the prominent wizarding families of this world. And his thing was, it starts with him being born. His dad is all hype and shit. He finally gets his son, of course. Everybody's black. It's fucking dope. So he's hype. He's got a son, and they show him, and he's got expectations, and he's working with his son because I guess his dad is like the head honcho, big wig guy of magic. You know what I'm saying? So eventually it turns out, I guess his son does not have the aptitude or talent to be good at magic. He's not, a natural at magic. So it's a lot of things. There's a lot of fast forwards, little short time skips or whatever, but not really, just showing him, progressing. And after a long time, he just, he's struggling with it. And of course, as much as I want to hate and be like, father and son struggle angle, can't knock it. I ain't gonna lie, I got daddy issues, you know what I'm saying? Well, so I'm prone to loving a good father-son story. And it's classic, you know what I'm saying? From Star Wars to fucking Zeus and Kronos, it's a classic struggle. Father against son, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing when done right. But yeah, so he's trying to, Spencer, the son, is trying to get better at magic, and he's developing. And meanwhile, during this shit happening, his father is picking up another protege. And what's my man's name? Let me check right now. I'm sorry, y'all. Mills. I know his name. I think it's Brother Mills or whatever. We're going to say Mills. I can't remember his real name. But that's cool because it makes you want to read the story. So anyway, he starts messing with it. He starts seeing the potential in this dude, Mills. And low key, he's giving up on his son, Spencer, in a way, but not really. And then you see Spencer he's working. And like the hate, of course, he doubles down on that and hulks through and uses the hate to push himself. And then he becomes super dope. And he's like, all right, I'm ready to take this test, which is like, I guess, the equivalent of the wizard driver's license test or something like that. So one thing I'm loving about this is that they have a scene before he goes in. And he's about to go and take his trials. And he's good. And then the whole scene, the whole thing is him and his grandma chopping it up while he's getting his hair cut. Dope thing, because everybody know black people presentation is a big thing to us. You can say however you want to say, flashy, whatever, but you got to look good. You know what I'm saying? We the same, like my wife, when she had my son, she mad because it's supposed to be a planned C-section. But he said, fuck that, that cool, like I'm coming now. Plus ultra, bitches. Anyway, she's mad. I couldn't get my hair did. I'm like, you're pushing a fucking human out. Who looks fabulous doing that? That's like thinking, how does that work? But that's how we are. I gotta look good like my grandma and then you say dress to the nines. So anyway, he getting his hair cut, his grandma lining him up, and it's kind of dope. The conversation is cool. The cursing makes it seem a little more authentic. But I don't know. I'm being picky. It didn't seem to have a natural flow. But I can't hate, because if I wrote that shit, who'd say fuck say? I just liked all that. Just, cut the bullshit out. I don't want to be hating black wizards. The conversation flowed authentic with the cursing and everything. And it was just like a real old head grandma talk to you. Like, man, nigga, this and that and blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of ill. I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking to her. And he trying to get hype himself up to pass this test. And she's trying to tell him what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope because he thought, everybody think their dad is way better than what the fuck he really is. But it's always your daddy's mama who will peep you to some shit. There ain't nobody asked her for. Like, oh, my dad, the shit. That nigga cried like a bitch one time when he got bit by a rabbit. Like, what? But, she put him up on that shit. And maybe it was to help him look at it different, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was dope. Side note, I peeped that while cutting his hair, Spencer's grandma is using magic. Now, remember what I said earlier, that one of the rules was women can't use magic. Now, while she's cutting his hair, when y'all buy the issue, check it out. When you buy it, and go tell the people, go on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, and tell them that Maps sent you. You know what I'm saying? But she's floating while she cutting his wig. So I thought that, and I put a little pin in my hat for that for later on. You know what I'm saying? But so he goes and he has to take this test. Spencer does, and I thought also it was dope that my man made a point to talk about how sweet his line was. You know, and as far as again with the culture, it's like a little nod to, hey, niggas is writing this book. Like, that's what's up, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, he got to go take the test or whatever. And so basically the test is like, I guess they have to protect, they serve people that like the Men in Black, I guess, in a way, and they serve, which I found out in the book, it's pretty much only white people. We'll touch on that later. White people, and they're like their guardian angels or whatever. So his test, Spencer's test, was like, all right, you got to make it so this dude is about to propose to his wife. And he has to do it, and she has to say, yes, you have to make sure that nothing stops this nigga from asking her the question. You know what I'm saying? But, oh yeah, I forgot to say this. That brings me to something else. Also, I thought it was dope. Spencer, he gets aid from the test and what to do from his grandma. Another thing, and I'm looking too deep into this with the whole pro-blackness and black wizards. But I thought it was dope because it's one thing, that culture. And it's probably anybody can say, that's any culture. But, you know, the pass down of knowledge and information from the previous generation, I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And then, and anyway, like I was saying, he had to help the chick to propose, dude to propose anyway. And the action scenes during this, it's kind of dope. It's just, and I say this about a lot of stuff, and I'm sorry because I have a very animated mind. But this shit should be animated. It looks dope. So he has to do this shit. And he has to pass it, you know, and he does. He ends up outsmarting these niggas on some fucking outside the box nigga. I know how to, you know, it worked out well. It was sweet. Upon winning it, you know, passing or accelerate, whatever you want to say, he finished it and he passed. His father, who was like the dude on the council, comes down, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And maybe it's because, like I said, I can relate because this is how the shit I would be. You know what I'm saying? But Spencer didn't, he went to shake his dad's hand opposed to hugging him. And I thought that was interesting. And then, you know, the dad went in for the hug, but that's kind of like a little, it shows you. And that's why I pay attention to details like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? That was a visual representation. Like, we not as close as you think we are, B. You know what I'm saying? Also, side note, I am willing to bet right now, and I said this reading issue 1, the council killed Spencer's grandma, or they did something to her. I'm willing to bet that. Count me, say it now. I only read from 1. I ain't gonna lie, to issue 1 to start. I just started 4, but we only gonna cover 1 to 3. So if anything happened later on, I don't know. I'm calling it now. So, man, they got this scene with his panel, I guess, where Spencer's walking through the desert. You know what I'm saying? He got his hood over his head. He got his little hoodie on. Of course, he got a hoodie on because he got a hood over his head. Clean ass white t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Some futuristic ass, some Sonic looking shoes. They look sweet. I copped them bitches today. And these pyramids in the background floating. Just that shot is dope. Like, if I could have a poster of that, I'd put that shit up. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? Side note. So anyway, I forgot. That's side note. Let me get to it. So after he finishes the whole, what was it? Yeah, I'll tell you after the break. Yeah, not as good as Kale, huh? Kind of stole my bit and he kills it. But anyway, hey, be right back. Podcast called Fresh.
This concludes part 1 of episode 19 of a podcast called Fresh. Thank you for listening, and please remember to like and subscribe on your preferred listening platform. Blurred Up, and all that.
This has been a Hyphen Podcast Network production. They're the bestest. I'm getting paid at exposure.